Yeah.
Welcome to You're On in 5, The Art of Understudying.
The only podcast to celebrate the work of actors in understudy roles.
Understudying demands tons of preparation with minimal rehearsal.
Or sometimes none at all.
But it can end in triumphant glory.
In these conversations, we will amplify the diverse voices of actors who have understudied. We want to hear about the actor's technique, experience, and journey.
As well as whatever's on our mind that day.
Welcome to You're On in 5. This is Scott Sava. You might know me, I'm not sure if I've said this one before, from my family's restaurant, Sava's Old Warsaw, Polish Smorgasbord out in Broadview, Illinois.
Hi, and it's me, Elana Elise, your other host. You might know me from listening to the 4 seasons of this podcast. And today we have the wonderful Sydney René Cox.
Hello. You might know me based on any of my multi-hyphenate hats. I'm either an intimacy coordinator, an actor, or a writer too. You can take your pick around the city of Chicago.
Awesome. Welcome, Sydney. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, our very first question, as per usual, is what was your first understudy gig?
Yeah, I had a lot of understudy experience in college, which was fascinating. But my actual first professional understudy gig was on a new work. It was a new musical. It was in Indiana. And I was a principal role, also understudying a different role. But because it was a new work, we were going through so many different iterations of it that by opening, we realized that the characters were on stage at the same time. And then I had to go on for a full week of performances. So it was a fascinating first foray into the world of professional understudying.
Oh my goodness. And so then someone was understudying your principal role. So you went on for the understudy track and then somebody else went in for your principal part.
Kind of. I would run off stage and put on the different wig and the different clothes and then come back on for speaking moments. And then when it was the song, we just forego. We just totally threw out the principal character.
No, you literally played both roles during a week of run?
It was, yes. It was a true testament of everybody working together behind the scenes.
I feel like that broke something inside of me just now.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know how to understand it.
It was crazy. It was
Can you
crazy.
imagine?
We all knew it was crazy.
It's like you're playing Joseph, but you're also playing Potiphar. Like how?
Precisely.
How do you do how?
Yeah, it was a lot of we're filling in holes in dance numbers and stuff because obviously you can't be in 2 places at once, so everyone came in for a put in. And unfortunately it was a COVID related, so it was so last minute that we didn't have time to really plan. So we realized, nobody's actually thought of how these drafts have changed so much and we can't do this show. So we figured it out though.
Wait, so you didn't have an understudy?
No. It was so funny actually, because the person who was understudying me was the person who I was understudying. Because initially they were never on stage at the same time.
Okay.
So the plan was originally in the script with the original script, that you would play both roles if the other actor wasn't there.
Yes, and then that if I were out, they would play both roles because we were internal understudying for it, just to keep the numbers down. And less people in the room. And so initially it really worked. It really worked until it really didn't.
Yeah, but so like y'all didn't have a run prior to opening that exposed this oddity.
No, we did not.
Wowzers.
No, we did not. And I think, it was a little bit of blind optimism of, I think we kind of realized this is a problem, but also it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. It'll be fine. And then it was not.
Wow.
I know for me when I'm in a or when I was in a situation, because this doesn't really happen anymore, but like when I was in a situation where I was understudying a role and it was clear that the production hadn't fully thought things through, maybe, that I would just be like, okay, well, they know what they're doing. I don't even have to prepare for this because it's not going to happen, you know?
And they have a plan. Yeah. Right? Of course.
Yeah.
hmm
So, what were the characters like?
So one was a very affluent, very bubbly person, and then the other was actually a housekeeper of the house. So it was a lot of, oh my gosh, okay, you're putting on the wig here, now you're taking it off and like slicking the hair back into a different type of bun, and now you're running back on, and oh, this is a dance number, but now we have, an opening in the front where you were supposed to be. So everybody just scooch in. And I mean, yeah, it was one of the first productions that this place had professionally done.
Mm,
Uh, since it had closed and reopened and kind of closed and reopened under different ownership.
uh-huh.
And so I think it was the very first sort of, hey, like we're doing this, and it was really a great production. It was just the logistics behind the scenes were very, yeah, switching between the owner of the house and then the housekeeper it was a time.
That's great.
And did you have to go back and forth, or was it one switch?
Mm-hmm. Back and forth.
Can't handle this information.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it taught me a lot.
Mhm.
It taught me a lot about
Did.
just how that's showbiz, baby. Like that's live theater, and how you're really putting on different hats. And I mean, the audience can suspend their disbelief as much as you're willing to trust them to. So
So with all that, it was still a good performance. Like things didn't fall
yeah,
apart.
it didn't fall apart. Actually, which was a huge success, I think, for everybody
Yeah.
involved. No, we got through it. And then out by the end of the week, we figured it out kind of how it was working. But that first performance where the person was sick the morning of, it was, I mean, just all hands on deck. Everybody standing in the wings, kind of being, okay, when do I need to jump in and help and take on a different role? So yeah, we had it figured out where we ended up passing the role off to someone else so that I could just play my principal role, and they had a few days to learn it.
What a novel idea.
Precisely. So it all worked out, but it was just that first 24 hours of, oh, here we go, I
Yeah,
guess.
totally. That's that good adrenaline, though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. Sydney, you said that you had done some understudying in college. That's not extremely common. How did that work out? What were the circumstances around those shows?
Yeah, I think they never, because we didn't do really understudy rehearsals or anything in college. I think it was more of kind of teaching us how it works, and that if you were asked to understudy in a professional sense, this is what you would do. So we would go to the rehearsals and listen to them. And it was Pericles, Prince of Tyre was the show. So very Shakespeare. I was a freshman in the program though, so I was terrified. And the person playing Dionysa, who I was understudying, I thought she walked on water, truly. I was like, oh my God, she's so good and scary and older than me, and now I'm supposed to be understudying her, and I'm in Shakespeare 1. Like it was crazy. And I didn't actually have to go on and perform, but she did get sick during some of the dress rehearsal. And so I did have to come in and stand, but I had never understudied before, and I was holding my script, and it was a nightmare. It was a bad time.
Never hear about people, like, especially intentionally learning how it works in academia. Like, that's super rare. What school did you go to?
I went to Ball State University. It's in Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
hmm
That's really thoughtful of that program.
It was. I think it made me scared of understudying though, because I still didn't really know what it meant. And then I was in a room holding my script, reading Shakespeare, in front of all these people who'd been rehearsing it for weeks, and that was terrifying. I vowed never again would I be unprepared.
Ah, yeah.
But that's what you learned. That's
That
the
is what I
point, right?
learned.
You know, so that's
That is what
great.
I learned.
Mission accomplished.
Hmm.
How,
Absolutely.
how do you feel about understudying in general? Like, do you like it?
I think personally that it is more stressful to understudy than it is to be in a cast and a principal
Mm-hmm.
cast. Um, I do like it, but I also think it's I mean, as kind of everyone who comes on here says, it's sort of a thankless job,
Hmm.
in that it's so much harder and you're working to potentially slot into a cast of people who already have figured out their quirks and how they gel, and then it's kind of on you at that point to make sure that that gel continues, even without the prepper or proper preparation necessarily, and that's just kind of the schedule and like the name of the game. But I do think it's such an important role, and I think since especially the pandemic, people have really started to realize that and allocate more resources towards preparing understudies, at least in my experience. So, I do like it, but I think it's a special kind of stress that is just so different from any other role to take on in a production.
A
Yeah.
special kind of stress. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Uh, what was the next time after
The
you know,
next time,
that you
yeah,
wanted?
exactly. The next time actually was with the Rivendell and Interrobang collab,
Okay.
um, which was a great experience, truly. And I came into that process pretty close to towards the end of it, but everybody was so welcoming and really made sure that I felt nice. I understudied Liz Sharp,
Hmm. Yeah.
who was just phenomenal. And we actually went out and got dinner, and they were like, okay, here's ask me anything you need to ask. And so, I hear sometimes people's experiences feeling disconnected from the cast or the room. And personally, I feel very, very fortunate that in all of my experiences up to this point, I actually have not felt that kind of isolation, and it's been a really great experience. But that was really kind of what turned the page for me
Mhm.
on understudying of, okay, this is, oh, people care, and I feel prepared. And it was, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
I know
really nice,
Intero.
especially coming in so late that she would really take the time to prepare you like that and
Yeah.
form that relationship, that bond is really nice. I don't think we hear that very often,
Yeah.
honestly.
No,
It
not
was, I
much.
mean, Liz will always be someone I really look up to. So that experience solidified that.
That's awesome. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Okay. Scott, I'm still recovering from previous information.
Let's see. What's been your most recent understudy gig?
My most recent understudy gig was actually at Steppenwolf, and that was 2023. And I understudied POTUS,
Mhm.
so the big, 7-woman show about the presidency and all that good stuff.
Hmm.
So that was my most recent experience, and also I think definitely the most chaotic that I've
Yeah.
had, all in a good way.
Mhm.
But I we were in performances. I think it was week 3 or 4, and it was understudying Dusty, so the president's love affair, who is carrying his child.
Okay.
And we had gone through understudy rehearsals and gone through some stuff, and then the person that I was covering got sick.
Mm.
And they said, okay, we're doing a put in. That's great. And I was so scared. I was so scared, but so ready.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the morning to do the put in. And I'm feeling a little heavy in the eyes. And I call them immediately. Okay, guys, I don't know. I'd been nowhere. I had done nothing. I was like I was not even taking public transit because I thought if I get to go on in this role, this is my moment. I mean, I was
Yeah.
seeing no one and I hadn't had it since early in 2020. So I was like, I can't. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I swear I'm not sick. So I start taking tests. They're all negative. We're like, okay. And we're on the phone. They're like, just come in. We'll do the put in. You're not positive. You're not really symptomatic. You're good. I get there. We do the full put in. It was the most incredible experience. Getting to do that just with everybody and feel so supported.
With the main cast?
And then with
Awesome.
the main cast, we did a full tech put in. It was wonderful. We get about halfway through the show and I'm like, oh no. I run off stage. Like, hey guys, I don't know. I don't know, something's happening. We were going to perform that night. They keep handing me tests. I felt so bad. They were just standing there, just take another one, take another one, take another one. And it was all negative. So we're like, great. They end up postponing that night anyway for kind of a separate reason as well. And they're like, we're going to hit it with tomorrow. Awesome. I go home. I'm so ready. I wake up the next morning. I can't even move. I am like so ill. I take a test. It's immediately positive COVID. And I just thought, I'm never going to work in this town again. I'm never going to. How could my one job was to not get COVID the one day I got it. So I ended up calling, and of course they were so kind and supportive, and obviously like you could have done nothing about
Right,
this.
like, yeah.
But yeah, they ended up canceling the show that night and the night after because of me. And I've never quite dealt with that. It's funny now that it happened, and then honestly they ended up one of the other understudies who don't know how she did it ended up learning it and going on so they could continue the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking. Like, intellectually, I would totally know that it wasn't my fault, but I would probably be crying the whole time
Yeah.
in the
Oh, and I
corner of my
was.
bed. Like, oh, it's so off. I've gotten sick at rehearsal before. Now, mind you, I witnessed someone get sick at rehearsal and have to leave, and she was a mess, and I was like, "Ugh, honestly, come on." And then later in that same process, I got sick and had to leave, and I was just like, no, I can't. This is awful. Like,
The guilt is crushing. It's crazy.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I think now I would be less emotional about it. I'd be like sad, but I would feel less responsible. Like those first few times. And especially, COVID introduced us to the reality of being in space while ill, which is not a thing. Like, we had to be really sick in the past, unfortunately, right?
Right.
So we could be somewhere coughing and sneezing and still in the process. So having to leave because there's a tickle in our throat or we sneezed or coughed a couple of times is like unheard of. So it's a huge like emotional adjustment to like doing the right thing that we should have been doing all along,
Totally. Oh, definitely. Because I remember thinking, in a different lifetime, I wouldn't have even known that I shouldn't have just pushed through it.
Right.
Because that's just how you did it. You 102 degree fever. Can you walk?
Listen.
Get up there, But so that was also a hard thing of the reality of I could probably physically do this show, but because I have this illness that I don't want to expose people to and stuff, I'm obviously gonna call out of it because that's crazy. I would never want to expose people to something like that. But yeah, exactly. It's that. But also, I don't know, it was a pretty physically demanding show, and I had the COVID exhaustion real hardcore, so I rest easy in that. I probably actually couldn't have done it anyway.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that exhaustion was oof. I mean, and the flu can take you down, but like that COVID,
Oh man,
it was a whole different thing. And
it's in the bones, yeah.
I had that kind of illness the October before. So October 2019, like I was sicker than I had ever been, and like for like a week straight. And of course, like it's just like, oh, this is a bad case of flu. But then, I mean, I don't know. Of course, so many people were like, I think I had COVID before, but like it was really unlike anything I had known. In fact, that illness was worse for me than when I was known to have COVID eventually, like in 2023.
Really?
That
That's
was
so
like,
scary.
it really is. My throat was the worst part of I've had COVID twice, but my throat was the worst part of that first experience. But the pre-COVID sickness, I was down
Mm.
and out in ways I had never known. It was
Oh my
awful.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I mean I full recovery and stuff because
Yeah.
that's scary to not know
Yeah. For
what's
sure.
happening.
Okay, back to not that. Uh, what do you? So it sounds like you haven't done much. Have you been intimacy coordinating more often than acting as of late?
Yeah, when it comes to stage, for sure.
Mhm.
I actually now I split my time kind of between Chicago and LA. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm in LA right now, so I was doing all the time change conversions and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, I've been doing a lot of intimacy coordination in Chicago as far as stage goes, and was too up until I left. But I've also been doing a lot of film, and short film and feature film, both in acting and in intimacy. So
Mhm.
it's been, yeah, I love the stage. I'm working on a show actually right now, but um, as far as in the past couple of years, I've done a lot more kind of camera work, which has been interesting.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you are a full-time artist out there in
I
LA.
am
That's
full-time
fantastic. When did
1099.
you move out there?
Moved out here in June of 25, so not even a full year yet.
Wow. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
Yeah.
that for you.
What would you say was like the most like script wise demanding show that you've had to understudy?
Honestly, I definitely think that it was either POTUS because of the
Yeah.
physicality of it, and all the stage directions. I mean, the farce of it all had to be so
Mm.
tight, just had to be so tight. And so it wasn't necessarily dialogue heavy, but it was all dependent on this person getting here, this person getting here, you catching the vase and it not falling out of your hands, because if it does, then the next moment is screwed. So I think that was the most demanding from just an overall process. But then script wise, it takes me
Uh,
all the way back to college with, my Shakespeare experience at the time.
yeah, I was like, it's got
For
to be
sure.
Pericles, right? Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
definitely Pericles, yeah.
When
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
are doing a show, do you try to memorize like before like rehearsal starts at all?
I usually do. I find that even whether, you're principal or understudy, if you have command of the language, then everything else feels a lot less frightening.
Hmm.
So I always try to go in as I unfortunately am that annoying person who will walk in on the first reading and be just kind of referencing the script. I always used to hate that when I would see that and be like, oh my gosh, these people are tryhards.
Yeah.
And then I realized how because I'm like, well, I'm
Wow.
I'm not off book. Like this is crazy. But then I realized actually how when you are, everything is so much easier on your soul because
Hmm.
you know what's happening around you and you can actually play and you can connect with the other people in the room and actually understand the story in a way that if you're panicking about the lines and stuff you can't. So I do now.
Yeah.
I didn't always, but I do now memorize. Yeah.
Yeah. I know when I was doing Here Lies Henry, the one man show that Elana directed, um, that was one where I was like, oh, I have to start memorizing like at least a month before we open or before
Oh
before we
yeah.
start rehearsals because like it's only me. I can't bounce off of anybody else, you know.
Sink or
Um,
swim at that point. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. So but I previously I'd always been very against it because you know you memorize the movement or you learn the movement, you learn the relationships, and then you can take that into your memorization. That was my thinking.
Hmm.
But now I'm just like, no, do as much work as you can beforehand. It's better for everybody.
Yeah. Better for everybody, yeah, better for you, better for everything. Yeah, no, I feel that though, because it used to feel sort of if you walked into a process already knowing it, then or what are you discovering? But actually it's the total opposite. I also
Mm-hmm.
memorize without inflection. So that way,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
get stuck in any habits.
Uh-huh. No patterns and stuff, yeah.
Right. I have not successfully completely memorized before starting a process, but I've always read the script at least like 5 times before starting,
Yeah.
depending on when I got it. And the one time it was required of me to know coming in, it was a major fail. I mean, like,
Oh.
I had worked well enough that it wasn't delayed too long, but it was the impact of not having memorized completely before as requested was definitely felt by both of us. It was a two-person show and they also had it fully.
Mm.
And so for this have it's just so talky, like we ended up spending more time kind of running lines than the director wanted us to, because we were asked to know it, and it
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
weird. Like the one time that I've been specifically asked to come in off book, I didn't manage to do it, and pay the price for it.
With a
Really.
two-person though, that's a lot. I mean, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was hard, and I felt bad. I was embarrassed that I hadn't done the
Mm.
work. But my castmate and I are still friends. So like
There you go.
that works. That's fine. But yeah, it's so much easier to listen. And one of my favorite things is listening in real time, right? That's why I read the full script, right? Know everything going on. And
Hmm.
then it doesn't matter in the process. Like the ability to listen in real time um is less about cues for me. And this most recent show I did, like there were some lines I had that I didn't ever remember were coming until I heard, what my cue was or whatever. Like I would,
Hmm.
because you kind of have the show in your mind or whatever, you know what's going on, you know where to be. But there were certain moments where, and not in a lost way, just in a like, she would say the thing and I would say my thing, but I would always be surprised by the moment every time. But I think I could only do that because I was so familiar. Like
Mhm.
we're just living in this moment, and
Exactly.
it's great. I really liked. I was amused by it because I'm like, why didn't I know what this is
Yeah.
But that, yeah,
coming?
what a gift of the
It was,
actual moment to moment that you can have when you know
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
interesting too,
good.
because you have that kind of like, there's kind of a terror that happens in that moment too, because you're like, oh, I don't have it right now. What is my next line? I'm listening. I'm listening.
Well, see, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's not what was happening.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of knowing, is that that doesn't happen. Like
Hmm.
that means you're in your head. For me,
Sure.
my perception of what you just described is like I'm in my head, I'm thinking about lines, and that's not what was happening at all. And that's why it was so amusing to me that she would say the line, I would say my line, and I'd be like, I didn't even remember that. I didn't know that was coming because we're in it. I didn't know I forgot it, right? I mean, it wasn't that I forgot it, right? It's just I'm just doing a thing, and then the exchanges would happen, and I'd be like, oh, So, but what you're talking about, I mean, that's real too. I just wanted to distinguish that wasn't at all. But I like, it's not a measure. It's not a matter of forgetting what's next. It's
Yeah.
just not thinking about what's next because you don't have to.
Right.
I always think of artists and actors specifically as being mini adrenaline junkies
Mm.
because of that feel, both of those specific feelings
Mhm.
where, where you think, shit, I don't know what comes next. And now I have to just organically take in all the points of
Yeah.
stimulus to figure out what that is. And that's electrifying. And then there's also the other, example of, oh, I'm living so authentically in this world, in these circumstances,
Yeah.
that it's just happening to me. And like both of those are so adrenaline focused, I think.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
just it's flow state. Everyone's talking about flow state right now. That's
Right.
that's what, it's what it feels like.
It is. I have had that experience, Scott. Where I was in a show at the house, and I didn't like. I knew my physical thing. Like I knew where I come in at. I knew what to do on stage, but I had no idea which of these reports because there was a repetition of choreography to our marks. They just changed slightly per report. Right, so it was me and the show. I met Abu and I were in doing this together, and I had no idea which report it was, you know. And so I'm in my correct place. I see him across in the wings on the other side of the stage. I know the movement I'm supposed to do. I don't know which report it is. I am mortified. I'm almost shaking. We come in the middle. We meet. We walk down. I still don't know what report it is. I am like, I'm about to ruin the show. And then we inhale and he starts. And that's no, I start. That was the terrifying part because I had to start. But so we're in our marks, we inhale, and then I start. But it was only through the like I had to like keep registering like where we were, but I didn't know what was about to happen. I just knew I had to physically do the thing. And I really thought it was about to go down. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. But
That
then it wasn't.
sounds terrifying.
You know?
That's literally the dream, the actor's nightmare. That's you literally had the actor's nightmare experience.
I did. Oh God.
It's
Oh,
so crazy
Sydney.
because like the nightmare that I always have is that I'm not prepared, you know, and
Mhm. Mhm.
like knowing that in my daily life, in my conscious life, um I am prepared. Uh, then it's kind of weird to have those dreams where, you know, it's just like, I don't know what shoes am I supposed to wear right now, you know? That's what my dreams are like.
Oh, I understand. I have a kind of recurring, occasionally, once maybe every 2 years, I have this recurring nightmare that I'm suddenly in the cast of a chorus line. It's so random, but
Yeah.
I suddenly awake in the
The
line of a chorus
line.
line. I'm not a musical theater. I used to be, but I come out of musical theater retirement occasionally, but I'm more of a more of a straight play person. But I have this dream sometimes that fills me with so much panic that suddenly I am in a chorus line in front of an audience. And I don't know where that comes from or why that happens, but it has happened enough times that I've clocked it as a recurring
Yeah.
pattern. But I understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be mortified.
So let's see. Have you had a show where you've gone on as an understudy? Like other than the POTUS, where you kind of did but didn't.
Kind of did, but didn't. Yeah, the only other one that I've gone on actually was the one I talked about at the beginning, where I was the two characters.
Hmm.
Oh, right.
Um, but any but any other understudy work I've done has been pretty internal, where I didn't ever have to either step on and only played my own role or
Mm.
just understudied. There was a close call with the one for Rivendell and Terabang, which um, there was some sickness kind of going around at the beginning of that, but it actually ended up being totally fine. So, yeah, I've been actually pretty, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, lucky or unlucky, however, to not have had to step in an actual capacity in most situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has
Hmm.
there been any aside from the surprise of that oh, guess what? I'm on stage both times all the time that you feared not being prepared for?
Ooh. I think, I mean, I know I keep talking about this one, but I think it was truly one of the most informative things I've ever done as far as what I want my career to look like and who I am as an artist. But I really think stepping into the full put in for POTUS was I knew I was prepared, but also how do you really prepare for that? I mean, it was, I'm talking to Sandra Marquez and we're just across arguing with each other. And I think that I've looked up to these people for so long and I kind of felt like, oh my God, no amount of preparation will actually prepare me for this moment. And so I think that was more of the fear of I don't want to be the weak link in this incredible powerhouse cast, but I'm stepping in and it's a farce and everything's choreographed and oh my God. So I think that was the biggest fear of am I prepared? And then knowing that, kind of sink or swim I had to be.
Yeah.
So that was a terrifying moment. I don't remember a ton of it. I think I was totally here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do that. And you're working on a
Yeah.
show now on are you acting in the show you said you're working on? Okay.
I am. I'm actually doing a one-woman show at Hollywood Fringe Festival.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. And I wrote it. So it's a whole kind of new experience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Are you having a director? Are you handling it yourself?
I am having a director. I actually I was just listening to an episode where you all kind of talked about this, but yeah, I am having a director because I think I'm too close to the material as the writer and the performer. And even if I were just the performer, I feel I need someone else's perspective because it's so easy, I think, as an actor to be so insular and from that perspective of the person you're portraying. And especially since I wrote it, I understand things that maybe people wouldn't, maybe actually don't make sense. Like, because I know what it means, but would that actually track for somebody who is not living in the world and in the character in the same way that I am? So I am having a director. Yes. Long-winded answer to your question.
That's great.
Yes.
I love the Fringe festivals. I think I'd like to make a point of going to more of them. I've only been here in Chicago and in New Orleans. Performing both times, but also like in New Orleans, I went to a bunch of activities surrounding the Fringe festival. It's really nice. It's such a great just showcase, diverse.
It's so cool.
Showcase. That's really great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a really great way. I really wanted to get involved in the community here, being so new, and also having the Chicago theater roots, kind of figuring out what does that look like in the LA landscape. And I've always toyed with writing my own stuff. I have worked in, digital marketing and copywriting and done all these things. And kind of this was my experiment for how can I bridge all three of the writer, the actor, and the intimacy coordinator into an actual one umbrella. And I think that to do that, I have to write my own thing that explores intimacy and, death. It's about a 28-year-old funeral director, and just navigating what life is like when you are 28 and dating and trying to live in our year of 2026, but also work as a mortician. And how those things don't. Yeah.
So I love that. Do you have experience with mortuary science?
I do. It runs deep in my family. Yeah. Deep in my family. My grandpa actually owned and operated a funeral home for as long as I could remember. And so my mom and her sister grew up above the funeral home, and their apartment was above, and then the actual, and so I was there a ton. I remember playing with Barbies in the pews while my grandfather was setting up for a service of someone that I didn't know, but I was just there. And so
what a great something. What a great, especially to bring into storytelling. That's so great, sis. Thank you. I love that for you.
I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be a fun time. And it's theater in LA, which I feel is, kind of harder to come by. So I'm really excited to be a part of that fringe scene and see what that's like.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're due for a break.
We'll be right back with more Sydney René Cox.
You're on in 5. We're back with Sydney René Cox. And now let's go off book
and find out who even are you
with the Understudy podcast
Quirky Questionnaire.
All right, and our first question for the Quirky Questionnaire, Sydney, is: do you know your first words?
Oh, it's so predictable, but I think it was mama.
That'll do.
I hate that it's so predictable, but I think that's what it was.
Right? Like,
It's
why isn't it not
okay.
platypus or something? You know?
Right. Why couldn't I have been unique from the jump?
Why wasn't
But-
it a full sentence, Sydney?
a Shakespearean sonnet, if you will.
Right.
But I could have lied.
What's your earliest memory?
Earliest memory. Oh, I have this really hyper specific memory. It's totally unrelated to the arts, but I was looking out over my driveway where I had just drawn with a bunch of chalk, and I was up on the second floor and my grandparents were coming over, and they pulled in and parked the car on top of the drawings, and I was livid. And for some reason, that is one of my earliest memories. But I remember feeling bubbling like anxiety or rage or something about them parking on top of my chalk drawings.
So
Yeah.
funny.
I get it.
Thank you.
And it is art related.
I guess it is.
Yeah. Next question. Can you keep a secret?
I can.
All right.
Good.
Sometimes they make me nervous, but I can.
Good.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
What's the best way to get rid of hiccups?
Oh, okay. I have this peppermint oil that I use for everything.
Oh.
And so it's a kind of a take on the holding your breath, but I use it. I actually get hiccups quite a bit, and just inhaling the peppermint oil, I think starts my nervous system, and then I stop most of the time.
I love that.
So essential
Yes.
oils, if you haven't tried essential oils for hiccups, try them.
We always get a different answer with that one. I'm really happy
Really?
we included that question.
Yeah, same.
Sydney, what is your favorite vegetable?
Sweet potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Board games, video games, or no games?
Board games.
What's your favorite?
I always really liked, there was a Disney version of Trivial Pursuit that I bullied people into playing with me as a kid. That was my favorite.
I love it.
Nice. What is your proudest moment?
Ooh, what a question. I think I have a little brother and sister who are a lot younger than I am. They're 10 and 12 years younger. And I think I'm really, I don't know, I'm so proud of them. And just every time they do things, I sort of feel like a parent sometimes, even though I'm not. But I just, I do a lot of what I do for them. So I'm just really proud of them. That's the first thing I'm thinking of.
Love that. Who's your favorite dead celebrity?
My favorite dead celebrity. Maybe Robin Williams.
That was a big one. That was a really big one. Are you fluent in any other languages?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Maybe one day. It's a goal.
I believe in you. Sydney, what is your dream role?
It's embarrassing. My dream role, though, unfortunately, is to play Macbeth.
Oh.
Himself, specifically.
Yeah.
I feel that has to happen at some point
I
down the
believe
line.
it will.
Here.
It's not out the realm of possibility. I mean, there's been so much of that work
I
going
know.
on.
There's just so many great contemporary plays, and and I totally love that. But also, for some reason, ever since I read that in high school, it's just been the one.
And
You're
it's
gonna do
always
it.
been Macbeth and not Lady Macbeth for you?
Yeah, I think she makes more sense.
Well,
I think her trajectory makes more sense, and so it'd be really fun because he's sort of, I mean, I kind of hate him, but I want to not hate him. I want to figure him out. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
100%.
That is our quirky questionnaire. Congratulations.
Yay,
Thank you.
did it.
We did it.
I think that was the most succinct it's ever been.
Yeah, it really is.
Really? Okay, I tried. I'm glad.
Did a great job. Well, so now it's time for props.
And in props, we like to give shouts out to anybody who helps us with our understudy work in particular, stage managers, assistant directors, overstudies, understudies, and really anybody in any theater that gives us the help we need to do what we do. Who do you got, Sydney?
Ah, man, I have so many. I could go on forever, I think. But a couple people that, come to mind. And well, anytime I see the understudy cast of something, I always try to go to understudy runs. I'm always just blown away by the art and stuff that people bring in. And in my personal experience, I definitely want to give a shout out to Amanda Fink, who took on the role of Dusty when I could not during POTUS, so she deserves all of for learning that whole role. In no time. Definitely props to her. And then to that whole team, Laura Glenn, Audrey Francis, Raquel Torre, they truly were so wanted us in the room and made sure we knew it and were so helpful to us. And honestly, I mean, Audrey Francis, working with her as a director was insane because she would turn around to the understudies sitting up there and be like, hey, does that make sense to you? I'm like, you're asking us? But like, cool. So definitely that whole team, major props to them. And then, just I saw a couple times Jekyll and Hyde at Co-Candy. Did you all see that?
I did not.
Lord. So I saw a few understudies go on for that, and just it blown away. So
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
I've shouted these people out before, but I'm gonna do it again. Second Sight is a series where it's writer focused in a way that is rare, but also the productions are in locations that are not theaters, like exclusively not theaters. And by way of that, they end up like really connecting with community in different areas. And so their recent project is called The Beauty Project. And they have integrated in like a salon, and there are 3 plays, well, 1 short film and 3 plays that you're just like in the same space, like sharing the space. Like there's a salon seat that one of the actors is in, and the other salon seat is for a patron. And
cool.
then there are like, for this one, there are workshops, demos, for hair and makeup and self-defense, right? So like these concepts of beauty being interspersed with art. And that's what they've been working on that a couple of years. So there's like random performances on the north side, and then on the south side in April there will be one as well. And so it's really just this mashup of art and community, collaborating with the community and whatever the theme is. I was only a spectator for this one, but I've worked with them as a director and an actor. And like the last time I directed, we were at the DuSable Museum, right? So we had 5 plays that were connected to 5 different exhibits, and that was really fun. And then the Beauty Project, I did the workshop for, and we were in a different space for that. But it's still just, it just keeps growing, and I encourage people to check out secondsight.com. And it's just a really, so for those of us who lean into the social sort of, not only justice, but just the social value of the arts, that isn't about necessarily being a star or whatever. I think it's just a really good meeting point for that. Jenny Lamb and Rachel Dubose and Nathaniel Andrew are the 3, like, people who are key in that. Shout out.
Awesome. Shout out.
That's awesome.
I'll also give a shout out to Elana because I know she's doing lots of good work with TSIP. and the accessibility auditions.
Thank you. What's TSIP?
The Chicago Inclusion Project.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the unified auditions in May of 2026.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Our last question for the show is always, what's a piece of advice that you would either give to yourself when you were starting out in Chicago, or that you would give yourself, or you would give to somebody starting out now, mainly in Chicago, but also everywhere?
I think I would say,
that advocacy and advocating for yourself is always allowed. I think that sometimes, as my work with intimacy coordination also, we're still in the process of creating spaces where people feel they can speak up for themselves or about things that they care about. And you have to advocate for yourself, whether you are in a process where you are understudying and you need additional resources, or in a space where you need to, speak up for other people. I think I spent a really long time, I think there's a balance between being really, really grateful for an opportunity and then also letting yourself be pushed around because of it. And so I think my biggest piece of advice would be to know your worth, because I wish that I had been more there for myself just in the beginning of my journey. And I think that goes a long way. I used to equate confidence with being cocky. And I think that there's a difference, between showing up, being grateful and being prepared, and then also knowing I deserve to be here, and so does everyone else in this room. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Gratitude doesn't have to come at the cost of, at the cost of confidence.
Exactly.
You can
Yeah.
hold both of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Of course. Thank you.
Sydney, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast, truly.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you
Mhm.
were here, and I'm glad you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today with Sydney René Cox, and that it gives you deeper insight into the art of understudying.
To send us a question or give a suggestion of someone we should interview, email us at understudypodcast@gmail.com.
Or hit us up at UnderstudyPod on Facebook and Instagram.
We want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers, especially Marcella Huff and Stanley Sava.
If you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/understudypod.
Our theme song and all other music are by the great Laura McKenzie.
Our episodes are edited by Scott and produced by Scott and me a little bit.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked it, please hit subscribe on your podcast player of choice and tell all your friends.
If you hated it, tell your enemies.
And their parents.
And their stupid parents.
Stupid.
Bye.
Bye.